Former President Donald Trump has been indicted for a second time, this time by federal prosecutors from the Justice Department in connection with a federal investigation into his handling of classified documents after he left office, making Trump the first former president to face federal criminal charges, not to mention the indictment he's already facing in New York. Trump has maintained his innocence. He released a video in response to the charges just moments ago.
I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person. They come after me because now we're leading in the polls again by a lot against Biden. They figure the way they're going to stop us is by using what's called warfare. And that's what it is. This is warfare for the law.
The former president faces a total of 7 charges in special counsel Jack Smith's investigation. They allege that Trump took about 300 classified documents to Mar-a-Lago after leaving the White House. 100 of them were seized by the FBI last August. All right, joining us now is Rory Little, professor of law at UC Law SF. And Rory, you were a federal prosecutor for years, 7 years to be exact, also associate deputy attorney general. Thank you for your time this evening. Out the gate, your reaction.
Well, it's a historic moment to indict a former president. The federal government has never done that before. Of course, we're all familiar with a lot of the allegations and a lot of the events, but it's still a big step. And this is going to be a bigger case, if you want to say that, than the New York case. And there's still 2 other cases pending. So we're going to see a lot of action with Trump as the defendant.
Do we read into the fact that he was charged in Florida and not Washington, D.C.? What does that mean?
Well, it means a couple of things. One, it's probably a more friendly place for Donald Trump. On the other hand, a conviction in Florida will be unimpeachable by the Republican side. That is a jurisdiction that's friendly to him. There are Trump appointees who might get the case. There'll be a random assignment of the case. It also means that the actions that are being charged largely took place in Florida, and it's the proper thing to charge a criminal case where the crime is actually committed.
So let's talk about time frame and also the big question in the room, the big elephant in the room, a presidential trial. So can he, or presidential race, can he run for president? And what would be a time frame for a trial?
Well, he can definitely run for president. There's nothing in the Constitution that prevents him from running for president. If he were impeached and then convicted, he could be barred from holding public office. But he can't be impeached now because he's out of office and he wasn't convicted. So he can run. When do I think a trial will be? First, you'll see some motions made. I think you'll also see appeals taken very quickly to try to get to the Supreme Court once again. I don't think you'll see a trial anytime soon. I imagine the judge will set a trial date, probably, I would say, March, January, February. But I don't think that date would hold. And then I don't think a judge is going to let a trial be held during the election season in November. So you might see a trial actually postponed until after the election. We'll see.
All right. So what are his lawyers telling him right now? Or I should pose this. What would a good lawyer tell him to do? Zip it? Don't talk?
A good lawyer is going to say, keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Keep your head down. Everything you say could be used against you later. Don't say anything. Let us handle it. That's not going to be Donald Trump. He has already put out a video claiming his innocence and all other things. He's already put out fundraising appeals. And anything he says from this point, if later the evidence shows that it's not true, could be added to this indictment. This indictment charges false statements as well as obstruction of justice and a conspiracy to do those things with other people.
Well, certainly very serious and unprecedented. And Roy, I thank you for your time, and we will see you soon, I'm sure, asking you more for your advice and your thoughts on this. Thank you.